It's Gypsyrose, and my middle initial is A.
Okay.
Blanchard.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard has been released from prison.
I wrote, I slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet innocent daughter.
The 32-year-old previously pled guilty to the second-degree murder of her mother, Claudine Dee Blanchard.
Gypsy's missing, and Dee Dee's dead.
The first time I've been honest, besides being honest, with my attorneys.
Since Gypsy Rose's release from prison, I have been following her case pretty closely. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the important clips that I found that coincide with the Lifetime series that just came out. And if you're not able to watch the Lifetime series, or you want to watch it with us, in our Patreon and member group, which is on Discord, you can join this Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be streaming the entire series, along with a live chat. Check the description of this video for links on how to join, or just simply scan the QR code on your screen. Hope to see you there on Saturday night. Welcome back to part 2 of Starring Gypsy Rose. This is part 2 of my review on the Lifetime series versus all of the interviews and clips and information that is out there on Gypsy Rose Blanchard. We're going to be starting out with her speaking about her parole hearing. And as I stated in the first video, her father was supposed to be the guy, her designated person, to speak on her behalf at that parole hearing. He didn't go. He didn't change his work schedule. And her stepmom went, but she's talking about or putting on the best version of herself in front of the parole board. And I have no doubt that Gypsy Rose put on her best act in front of the parole board.
But I'm going to do everything I can to show the parole board the best version of myself.
This photo right here is a few days after the murder of her mother. Now, pay attention. Look at how she's dressed here. And then in a few minutes, she's going to tell us how controlling Nick was and how he controlled what she ate, what she dressed like, blah, blah, blah. More lies.
I thought that it was going to be. And that was not something I expected.
Here she is looking like a straight guy. So was this her? What were they doing? Why was she dressed like a guy here? And why is she blaming Nick for making her dress like that when after the murder, she's dressed like a girl? Make it make sense. I think there was some really, really weird, deviant shit going on here.
Reality started to creep in my mind. And then I thought to myself, is this really what I traded? That life for this life.
Everything she said, he would know, okay, baby, or whatever. And
Here's what Nick's mom had to say about Gypsy and food when they were at her house.
you know what I mean? What are you talking about?
What are you talking
I
about?
thought you'd maybe stay here for a week or something. I don't know. But, so it wasn't normal. My husband said when I was at work, she came down and made food. It was just weird.
So let me get this straight. Nick controlled what she ate, but she went and made food at Nick's house, and the husband thought it was weird. Nick's dad. This next here Gypsy Rose segment is her on her bullshit about the Facebook posts that she made that were absolutely disgusting.
My mother being dead in her bed and no one knowing. I wanted her to be found.
So now she wants us to believe that she somehow grew a heart. And while she was posing for the picture you saw before where she's all laid out on a hammock or whatever, she's now feeling guilty and wants her body to be found. So she makes these posts on Facebook and made it appear that Nick wrote them. Translation: she wanted Nick arrested for the murder of her mother, Dee Dee.
Next day after my mother's body was found, we spent the night watching a movie at his mother's.
She blames Nick here in this clip and says that when he arrived at the house, he told her the bitch is dead. So that's what she posted. And then she posted the second one so everybody would know the account was not hacked.
The account's not hacked. Put that online because I felt like that would alarm people.
So she says in this new series, she posted that because she thought it would alarm people.
My first reaction was fear that people were going to come looking for me. And not that I was afraid to be arrested, but fear that I was going to be brought back to that same way of life.
Anybody who comes up with something like that after pulling what she just pulled, right there tells me there is something definitely wrong. And it's not being fixed. I don't know if it can be fixed.
But he couldn't come today.
I promised more about Gypsy's father, and there was a lot more that came out. This part talks about the parole hearing and how he was supposed to be her delegate and did not go.
I know it's a big important thing for Gypsy, but I told her about my schedule. It's like right in the middle of a one-week trip. She's like that. Understand?
So this says a lot to me. It says not only is her dad not committed to Gypsy's release, but also maybe they don't trust her. Maybe after the lies she told them, which are going to come out also in this video, I don't know if they've gotten past the point that she looked right in their eyes and lied to them either. So there's a lot going on here in these dynamics. And, you know, the stepmom is trying to be as kind as she can, it seems like, by supporting Gypsy and trying to form this relationship that doesn't seem to mesh between Gypsy and her dad. You're going to hear also Gypsy's dad talk about the fact that he heard about Ryan, Gypsy's husband, via his wife, Christy. So that showed me that he and Gypsy were not communicating directly about her marriage to Ryan either.
I get paroled in 2023. It was always the plan that I was going to go and live with my dad and stepmom, Christy. Then I fell in love. Didn't expect. When someone is on parole, they have to parole to a family member.
So I'm thinking the truth here lies somewhere within, she wouldn't be comfortable at her parents' house because of the lack of communication and the lack of what seems to be support from her father. I mean, he's certainly supporting the documentary and probably the paycheck that goes with it. But it doesn't sound like she wanted to live with them, or it wasn't something that was going to work out. So she miraculously found a sap who had been writing her to fall in love and marry her.
Well, you can't control how feelings surface.
Another interesting thing came out in this series was that her boyfriend, Ken, who was before Ryan, she was actually engaged to Ken, and allegedly Ken dumped her for what she called a blonde bimbo. And she spoke about this with her husband, Ryan, on the phone. And Ryan was worried if it didn't work out with Ken and his blonde bimbo, that she would go back with Ken. I bring this up because she kind of describes her own sister, her sister that was raised by her dad and had a normal mom everything that Gypsy Rose has ever wanted. It's a little scary in my opinion, but I guess when your dad's giving you advice like this, it might not be that surprising that she'd try to latch on to someone that she could move in with that's going to be comfortable.
I wish they would wait a little bit, but I mean, it's marriage, it's a piece of paper. She can get a divorce after. They don't have any kids or any assets, so it's sad that she opened up to me. I wish she could have, come to me, but I guess she felt comfortable enough that she can open up to him and trust him.
So let's get into a little more about Ken.
It's happened a time or two.
Yeah.
It's actually funny that you mentioned that because, being open and honest, the day that I got out of prison, Ken texted my stepmom and was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she told me about it, and I'm like, "Oh, so now he wants to come around." And so I told Ryan about it. I was open, and I'm like, he's sniffing around.
Why do you think he decided it's time to pop back up?
Because I think now I'm free, and I don't think that he has respect for my marriage.
Well, he doesn't like me because I've called him names. Like I have, he's known as something that to me.
I don't see why you should like him.
I call him a dumb mother. So every time that he's reached out to me before.
Has he?
Because
Bold.
Gypsy is like asked me to text him like, "Hey, we're married now." Text him because like
I can't with them. So he says that he's trying to be tough guy. Like Ken reached out to me, and then it turns out Gypsy asked him to reach out to Ken to say we're married now.
It's like
he still has my stuff.
He has
like he has
stuff of
stuff
hers
of
that he,
mine,
like,
old
holds,
pictures,
like,
old
holds.
pictures and stuff.
Oh Lord, are there going to be some pictures that surface from Mr. Ken
that I sent to him to hold on to?
Like, because they were together for a long
things
time.
you want to get back, or
things I want to, like, I bought along my time. I was like, oh, this is so cute in this clothing magazine. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna send it to your house, and then when I get out,
I wonder what kind of clothing magazine and what kind of clothing she was planning on getting when she got out from Ken.
you could give it to me. And so I've asked him to just ship my stuff to my stepmom, and then I can get it from her. And he's like, no, I still have all that stuff, but like, you can come get it. You can come get it.
Yeah. Like he's holding
I'm like,
her
no.
stuff hostage, and I just think he's a dumb motherfucker. I'm pardon my language. I just don't like him.
Well, and period.
That's how
I mean, I don't like. I mean, I call him that because how would you leave this wonderful woman? I mean, I'm thankful that he did because I'm with her now, and like.
But also him keeping your stuff hostage. That's a classic shady move.
It's a shady move.
You can get new stuff, Gypsy.
I am. I mean, I got all new stuff, better stuff.
Those hoodies, those shirts, they're replaceable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hoodies and shirts, my ass.
I feel like, if he's sniffing around to try and like break me and Ryan up or see if I will leave Ryan to get back with him, this is how I feel about it. If you're not going to be there at my worst, you do not deserve me at my best. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
And if you know anything about Gypsy's Instagram and you've seen the recent comments, she's not going anywhere.
I'm fine.
It turns out the D is fire.
Get it, baby.
He's missed his chance. It is what it is.
Apparently she had another boyfriend and didn't tell me. And that's where her feelings lie with him. But yes, she couldn't stop calling me. She knew something was there between us.
So this kind of plays off the Ken deal. He's trying to justify in this clip about why Gypsy suddenly wanted to be with him, even though he says she lied to me. She had another boyfriend. We were talking for over a year. I find out about her other boyfriend. It turns out it was that Ken. But this dude's convincing himself that there's something between us. So she definitely found her sap. But how many of you think that Ken sniffing around is wanted by Gypsy.
I was very nervous. So it was a big deal. And I remember her walking through the door and I was like, wow, she is gorgeous.
I have no idea how Gypsy Rose manages to get these men smitten with her, but look at his face. I mean, it says it all. But this poor guy, I feel like Ken is going to swoop right in and mess his whole world up. And just to mention, he was a school teacher who lost his job as well because of his marriage to Gypsy Rose.
So I was like, well, I'm still smitten with you like ever, because I fell in love with her volunteer. So for the third visit, I bought an engagement ring and I snuck it in, put it on my chain, and we had something special. We had that chemistry and I asked for marriage.
He is really struggling at this point in the interview. I'm not quite sure that Ryan really believes anything that he's saying. I think he wants to, but knowing that he lived with his mom before Gypsy got out, helping raise his nephew, gives me really weird vibes. Also, he's sweating profusely at this point. He started out okay, but the deeper he gets and into this interview, he's eventually you can see the drips down his face. It's crazy.
I was sitting across from her and I looked at her and I just knew, it's one of those things And we had something special. We had that chemistry and I asked for marriage.
And we put the ring on my finger.
And this is the moment that Gypsy Rose knew she was home free.
This is my wedding band. Gypsy Rose herself ordered this from a catalog.
First time I heard about Ryan, Christy told me about him. Yeah, no, she's got a guy now. She likes him, they've been talking. It's like her third boyfriend, maybe. Second, third boyfriend. So it's like, oh, she's just another one of her boyfriends.
That has got to make Ryan feel very secure in the relationship, Dad. Let me just say that. All right, moving on back to them not following rules. And them is Gypsy and Ryan. Doesn't seem like either one of them like to follow rules. But I think they're going to find out really quickly that parole officers don't take their bullshit.
He thinks that Taylor Swift is people, not her herself, wanted to protect her because here's the situation. I just want to clarify for a second.
That's right. Tell the story. Baby.
Yeah, I'm going to tell the story.
Let's let them have it.
I just clear the air.
Taylor probably will hear this.
Okay, so here's the thing.
She's a big fan.
I am. So
we are too.
Okay.
Yeah,
so about
good.
6 months before I got out of prison, Ryan and I were looking at fun things to do in Kansas City.
Absolutely.
And so he saw that there was going to be a Chiefs Bengals game, and he's a Bengals fan. He's a Joe Burrow fan. That would be so cool. Let's buy tickets because that would be so much fun to do on New Year's Eve. So we bought our tickets, and then 3 months or so later, I find out that Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce. That would be so cool if she was at the game and I got to meet her.
Just happened to run into her. Not like
that'd be
we're
cool.
going to find her.
It was so nonchalant. It was just that would be cool. Because she's my favorite singer. Also TMZ called me a felon. So my parole officer, I have two. So my parole officer in Louisiana said, yeah, you're good to go to the game. I don't mind you spending a few days in Kansas City. I'm good with that. I won't meet with you until after the holidays.
So no one asks Gypsy Rose why she asked her Louisiana parole officer about staying in Missouri. She's trying to pull fast ones already. Immediately out the gate, she wanted to get to that game and track down Taylor Swift. Or she was told there on the spot, get out of Missouri. Yikes.
Done shopping for shoes.
Yeah.
Like the
we went to the shoe
Yeah.
store, hounded by paparazzi. But I got a call, and it was my Missouri parole officer saying, so are you on your way back to Louisiana? And I'm like, no. I'm like, we're going to stay a few days in Kansas City.
I was very skeptical because, like I said, we were being hounded by media. Like, people were following us.
Or hounded by paparazzi.
And a strange number calls my phone because I was the connection. I kind of questioned the parole officer at first. I was like, how do we know? Because he answers the phone and he says, I'm so-and-so. I need to know where you're going and where you're at. And I was kind of like, no, you're not getting that. People following us. I'm not telling you where we're going. He finally had to like calm me down because I was.
Imagine this situation. Gypsy Rose has to calm down Big Red because he's cussing out her freaking parole officer like, what, 2 days after she gets out? Not a good look. Not a good look there, Big Red.
I raised it up and then I let her take over, and then come to find it was her Missouri parole officer telling her she had to leave like right.
Yeah.
This bitch acts like her Hollywood agent just called her to give her the biggest role of her life on the big screen. Dude, it's your parole officer, and your husband just said, I'm not telling you where we're at.
I raised it up.
And she's twirling her hair. Yeah. Dude, anybody who buys this chick's bullshit at this point, I don't know what to say to you. I'm not denying that at some point when she was younger, she was a victim of abuse, but it's not an excuse to continue to lie and scam people. The major thing that came out, though, was that Gypsy Rose herself made Nick, a walkthrough video so that he could walk through their home in the dark, make it to her mother's room, and then she shows her where her mother will be laying and then makes a motion with her hand like she is stabbing. There are also crime scene photos of, due to YouTube's rules, I'm not able to show even the clips that were shown in Lifetime here. But you can see those clips in our Discord group. How do you get in our Discord group? All you have to do is be a Patreon or a member of the channel. Check out the link in the description of this video. However, I can share with you that Gypsy's excuse, or rather reason, for making that video walkthrough for Nick, she states, was because she was addicted to pain pills. And they just made her disassociated from reality.
Brian knows everything about me. The not so good stuff.
That concludes episode 2 of Starring Gypsy Rose, and you can count on an episode 3. I hope to see you in the next one. And if you enjoyed this, give my video a like and consider subscribing. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists for more true crime content. And if that's not enough, you can join our Patreon. Don't have a tinfoil hat? It's okay. We'll make you one. It's that easy. See you guys in the next video.